everyone, how are you all doing today? Today's topic is one that is inferred in the movies. In Revenge of the Sith, we see Palpatine tell Anakin that Darth Plagueis could manipulate the mediclorians in the Force to create life.
Darth Plagueis was a dark lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midichlorians to create life.
Notice the slight look that Palpatine gives Anakin when he says this. The reason he says this is because Palpatine and Plagueis were the ones who created Anakin. Shmi's virgin birth wasn't just the will of the Force. While the Force did give Shmi Anakin, there was a reason it did. For 1,000 years, since the creation of the Rule of Two by Darth Bane, the Sith have dreamed of one day being strong enough to destroy the Jedi and the Republic. Plagueis and Palpatine both sought to enhance their knowledge of the Sith, diving deep into ancient Sith texts, rituals, and Sith alchemy in the hopes of gaining more power. This led them to eventually manipulate the Force to create the ultimate Force user. Their intention was to research and do rituals and Sith alchemy that would influence the mediclorians of the Force to create life. By doing this, they would be able to create the most powerful Force user to ever live, and if that user was on the side of the Sith, they would legitimately be unstoppable. The Rule of Two is in place to keep the Sith from killing each other and to enhance their power. The reason the Rule of Two is genius is there would always be a master and an apprentice. The master would be immensely powerful in the dark side, and the apprentice would always seek to become the master. To defeat the master, the apprentice would have to become more powerful than the master, thus creating a cycle where the Sith would continue to gain more and more power by replacing each other. Plagueis and Sidious weren't fools, however. Quite the contrary, they realized that while this cycle works, it takes generations upon generations to acquire more power. Even then, that doesn't mean these Sith had unlimited power in the Force. That's when they came up with the idea to create the ultimate Force user. If they could force the midichlorians of the Force to create a being created purely out of the Force itself, the power of this said being would be unmatched by anything the galaxy had ever seen. Plagueis and Palpatine then started experiments in gaining control of midichlorians to create life. This was called the Great Experiment. They tried all their efforts into this endeavor, but ultimately Plagueis deemed it a failure. They were never able to manipulate the midichlorians enough to create life. This was when Anakin Skywalker was born. When Anakin Skywalker was brought to Coruscant during the invasion of Naboo, both Palpatine and Plagueis found out about him. If you didn't know, just like Palpatine, Plagueis had a different persona that he would use to disguise himself from the galaxy. He disguised himself to the public as a Mun banker called Hugo Damask. Publicly, Plagueis ran a financial group called Damask Holdings. Damask Holdings was a financial group allied with the Intergalactic Banking Clan, where it acted as a lobbying and political organization. This meant Plagueis was on Coruscant when all of this happened. When Palpatine informed him about Anakin Skywalker, and more importantly, Anakin Skywalker's virgin birth, Plagueis was immensely intrigued. While Palpatine and Padme were in the Senate discussing the blockade and invasion of Naboo, Plagueis, under the disguise of his public persona, Hugo Damask, went to Palpatine's suite on Coruscant to meet Anakin. Plagueis was able to gain access to Palpatine's suite by using a mind trick on one of the Queen's handmaidens. Unfortunately for Plagueis, the handmaiden revealed that Anakin had already left for the Jedi Temple by the time he arrived at the penthouse the Queen was staying at. Plagueis left the penthouse and reached out in the Force to sense Anakin. He succeeded and saw a vision of Anakin's future. In this future, he saw a man cloaked in black with a helmet encasing his entire head. This was Darth Vader. Plagueis immediately knew that this boy would change the entire fate of the galaxy. Furthermore, Qui-Gon had talked to Count Dooku about finding Anakin, his virgin birth, and potentially him being the chosen one of the Force. Dooku, who of course was helping Palpatine at this time, then informed Palpatine of this, which Palpatine then informed Plagueis. It was at this moment that Plagueis realized the grave error that he had caused. Anakin was around 10 years old. At this time, it had been about 10 years since Sidious and him tried to influence the Force to create life. It was then he realized, due to the nature of the virgin birth, that Anakin was the Force's answer to his meddling with midichlorians. For the first time in his life, Plagueis was worried and feared the Sith were in danger of being undone, with himself being responsible. The irony of this was when he was trying to create life through the Force, he boasted that this would be the Jedi's chosen one prophecy, Never had he thought this would actually happen. He then made it his priority to stop the boy from becoming a Jedi. When he saw Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, the boy, and the Queen going back to Naboo from Coruscant, he ordered Palpatine to have Maul destroy the Jedi to eliminate the chance of the boy becoming a Jedi. Obviously, Maul failed, and Anakin was taken as Obi-Wan's apprentice. However, despite this massive failure, Sidious and Plagueis had finally achieved their goal of completely infiltrating the Republic. With Sidious as Supreme Chancellor, they could influence galactic events to finally bring an end to the Jedi and to solidify the Sith's rule over the galaxy. However, for Plagueis, this celebration was short, as Palpatine ended him during their celebration, but that's a topic for a different video. But this is how Palpatine and Plagueis created Anakin. It wasn't just them trying to create life, but the manipulation of the mediclorians through the use of the dark side that led to the eventual creation of Anakin. It was just as Plagueis feared, the Force's way of striking back at them for their attempted manipulation of the Force. Anyways, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think. Was it the Force's way of striking back, or was this the way it was always meant to be? Let me know in the comment section below. Regardless, stay awesome, and I will catch you in the next one.